Do it. Do it. Do it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, damn. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Happy Monday.
Happy Mother Monday.
Monday.
Hey, and you know what? You are tuned in. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. Now IG is live. We got IG, Facebook, and YouTube. All of y'all, welcome back. You're tuned in to episode 51. 51, man. Of Technically
51.
Speaking, we are giving you news
that you can use.
Hey, can't be mad at that. and everybody, thank you for those who are returning, and for those who are new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend that we're giving you the great things that's gonna change the things of your day.
Yes, hell
yep.
How y'all doing this Monday?
Hot. California don't know how to act when it comes to the dang
right
weather,
now, man. What's the temperature out there right now?
Hotter than summer.
Okay, Aaliyah.
Nah, so all right. This past weekend, Mother's Day weekend, I think the devil came outside to play. It was like 90 degrees on a Sunday.
90 degrees? That's a cold front, my guy.
That's not for LA. Because it's not in LA. Our blood
we're
is
supposed to be 103 tomorrow. Supposed to be 103 here tomorrow.
And so I gladly paid my air conditioning bill faithfully because I can't do it.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's burning up out here. How about y'all? You know what I'm saying? Bobby's saying it's gonna be hell degrees temperature.
Well, you know, so when I walked outside this morning, because I leave around 5:30 for work. I leave really early. And when I walked outside today, as soon as I opened the door, I stepped one foot. I said, "Oh, what happened here?" It was 55 degrees this morning.
Yeah, it was chilly this morning.
I was like, this is cold. I put on the heater in my car. I was like, I'm not going to sit through all this on the road for the next 35, 40 minutes. I'm going to be warm. And like 10 minutes before I got to work, my seat was toasty. I did not want to get out of my car. I was like, oh, I could take a nap right here.
Yeah. It's about to be 7 o'clock p.m. and it's still 92 degrees.
Yeah. I was going to say the temperature went up almost 50 degrees today. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is supposed to be 103. Then Wednesday is supposed to be 106, 111 down by Corpus.
Oh,
it's going to get hot.
So it's getting hot out there in Texas.
Yeah.
So the devil went over there just for the warm up. Warmed himself up and he made his way to Texas.
Said, let me slide my way to Texas.
Yeah. Slide his way to Texas. Oh, God.
I rebuke you.
Yep. Going out the house with a bottle full of holy water, drinking it like, haha, in the name.
There you go. So yesterday was Mother's Day. Hopefully you had a good Mother's Day, Bobby.
It was good.
Yeah. What the family do for you, man?
Well, everybody's trying to be sneaky. I'm like, y'all can't be sneaky up in my house, man. What are y'all doing? Every time I turned the corner, there was something happening or whatever, and the kids were trying to distract me.
Look at
that. It didn't work.
That's what's up.
They're like, Daddy, are you gonna do it? Daddy, you gonna do it?
That's
so cool, my older daughter, she went next door to a neighbor's house and she did some physical labor intensive stuff outside and earned some money. And so my husband took the girls on Saturday out to Walmart and got me a couple things, got a real nice bouquet of roses and stuff. And then he bought me 2 large, really pretty handmade wood cedar planters for that seating area out by the back door. Yeah.
Okay.
So really nice cedar planters and stuff, which is great because I have a $25 Home Depot gift card that's dying to be used. This Wednesday is this Wednesday's our wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Geronimo, because of you, we're going to be able to have some lunch because I forgot that you gave me that gift card for me passing my class when we came over and had that celebratory barbecue. Because of you.
That's what we do.
We get a little anniversary lunch. And then we're going to take the next gift card and hit up Home Depot and get me some plants.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
What you do for the wifey for Mother's Day, Corey?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Wifey had planned, and I dropped the ball on that. So fellas, don't drop the ball on Mother's Day. Don't drop the ball.
No, please
So
don't.
see, so I was making sure that we got the gifts and everything, but I forgot the what? Reservations. So that's on me. So she booked it. She booked the reservations. So the kids, Sunday I took wifey, the kids, my aunties, and my mother-in-law out. And we went to dinner. Yeah, had a good job. I mean, good some good food. There's this place called Paul Martin's, not Paul Morton, but Paul Martin, right there on in city of El Segundo. Great people, great place, great food. They're so nice.
Food was it?
So they had like beef stew. I had the salmon and mushroom. And then they also had the regular hamburgers, ribs. They had one of the traditional American food spots.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah, and the place were real nice because what happened is they ordered desserts. The family members ordered desserts, and we didn't notice it because we were just having a good time talking. So the waitress came over and she was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry that the dessert hasn't came out yet. We're working on it now." So I guess the shift manager came and comped us for the desserts. I was like, "Oh, you guys didn't have to. It was just an icing on the cake, quote unquote, right? You know what I'm saying?"
Hey, see,
we had a good time there.
Unintended.
Yeah, right. But then on Saturday, I took my mom's out. Me and my older brother, we took my mom's out to dinner. And you know what? My mom, she surprised me because my mama's favorite color is red. Like when it comes to an outfit, she wear red shoes, red. You know what I'm saying? Hats, church hats, red. So I'm like, okay. I pull up and I know it's Mother's Day, so I wear red. You know what I'm saying? I wear some red shoes, some red Jordans, blue jeans, and like this burgundy sweater. You know, look a little professional still. And she come downstairs, all blue. I'm talking about like Snoop Dogg blue. She had so much royal blue on. I thought she was part of the Royals. I was
about to say royal blue too, right?
Yeah. I'm like, Mama. She's like, I wanted to change it up. I was like, okay. And she had her church hat on. So I was like, and that was blue. I said, you know what, Mama? I ain't even mad at you. Go ahead. And so
share pictures whenever you can.
Oh yeah. I will. I'll put them in the group chat. The thing about it is, because last year around this time, she had just had a stroke. And I was like, you know what? I'm grateful to have my mom here.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we talking. She was like, I'm gonna start driving soon. I'm like, me and my brother, we like, take your time, Mama, take your time. She was like, the doctor told me I could. I was like, did he put it in writing? I don't need to have it in writing. I'm like, okay,
all right,
but you know what I'm saying? It was good. I took her to Urban Plates because that's where she wanted to go. I was like, okay.
All right.
It's Mother's Day.
Urban Plates, Mother's Day.
Yeah, and they were good too. They was like, you do a survey, you know what I'm saying? You get a free dessert. I was like, survey ahead.
All damn weekend, huh?
I'm saying, right? And I didn't eat any of them. I'm sticking away. I'm sticking and doing away from red meat and bread.
Okay.
And sweets. Sweets, I'm not having sweets till my birthday. I do this every year around this time, but this time I'm gonna stick to it. No more sweets till my birthday. No bread until probably my birthday as well. And then just go ahead and start getting the proper macros in so I can get this weight off.
Okay. Cheers to being happy. Hey, I feel you on that. Because I had a very unhealthy weekend because we were celebrating Mother's Day. So I had bought tickets for the tacos and tequila. And I was gonna take Amanda, but she wasn't feeling good, man. I was telling Bobby, man, just the stress of 16-year-old teenage daughters. I can't think of anything more stressful than a teenage girl. I don't know, Bobby. Can you think of anything more stressful than a teenage girl, a teenage daughter?
I know it's just Mother's Day. My mom is a pretty stressful individual. Love her.
So we didn't end up going to the concert because she wasn't feeling good. She was stressed. So we just chilled. And you know how sometimes women get stressed. They do all that stress eating. I stayed. We watched movies. I did a lot of stress eating.
I do not get stress eating.
I'm recovering from that.
When I stress, I don't eat. Did you get to do something for? I know you probably did something for Amanda, but did you do something for your mom?
No, that's a different story.
Okay. Love her from afar. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Work in progress.
Corey, Saturday, my sisters and I, we got together and took my mom on an outing. We went to go have lunch at Salada, and we went to Painting with a Twist. So Painting with the Twist is a BYOB place, and there was about 20 or so people in there with us and stuff. And so they do step-by-step instruction on how to paint whatever picture they have in the front of the room, whatever the artist chooses for the day and stuff.
So you guys call it BYO. I mean, it's Paint with a Twist. So it's bring your own bottle.
Yeah, bring your own bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are people behind us full of wine bottles.
Okay, because we call it paint and sip out here.
Oh, okay.
Paint and sip.
Yeah. So
they call it
cool.
It's pretty trendy. It's about $40 a person, and I imagine the artists that run it, they get all right. There's some pretty big groups there.
Nice.
Yeah. If I could draw, I'd be like, hey, come on down to my house in my garage. We're gonna paint and chill. Everything sounds good with a chill at the end of it.
It does. It does. So even though we didn't make it to the tacos and tequila Sunday, she was feeling better. So her favorite thing to do, she likes nature. So I took her back to the San Marcos River. We went tubing. Tubing is chilled out. I cooked breakfast for everybody, so she didn't have to cook. We went to the river, chilled out, and went tubing. Came back and just picked up dinner, so she didn't have to cook. So just made sure she didn't have to do cooking. We went to the river, hung out, chilled, man. So
that's cool.
We did our thing. We missed the concert, but we still made it to the river, and she had a good time, man. So
it gets real busy here, like on Mother's Day with
it does.
Going out to eat and stuff, like 2-hour wait times and stuff. I didn't do that. Right after church, we went to we just grabbed some lunch real quick at Bill Miller's. We were in and out. We went home, and I ended up taking the kids with me to HEB, and we ended up picking up some groceries. I ended up putting some fajitas on the grill.
Nice.
A little later, made some rice and some tortillas, pico de gallo, guacamole.
I see Dr. Poole on IG. Hey, chime in. What did you do for your moms on Mother's Day? Anybody, Facebook, YouTube, man, let us know what y'all do for y'all moms on Mother's Day, man. Y'all spoiled it.
Give us some ideas. Give us some good vibes about Mother's Day. You know what?
That paint and sip, man, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to keep that one in my back pocket for another year or so. That'd be dope.
Hey, maybe
it was a lot of fun.
Maybe not do what these call random acts of, you know what I'm saying? Not kindness, but what is it called for married couple? Random acts of dating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. Let me see. He said Dr. Poole said we watched your show together and ate pizza. Hey, that's what's up. Okay.
That's what's up. Hey, shout out for the replay on a Sunday.
Hey, the replay on a Sunday. Speaking of which, man, y'all can always come back and watch the replays. We post them out, and then we started putting out some shorter clips too. So shout out to all the military folks out there. Make sure y'all watch the video we got. What would you do if you could change, or what would you change about your military career, man? We want to hear from our veterans out there, man. Let us know. But we about to hear something else, man. Getting into the show, man. Hold on.
Shh. Siri's listening.
Oh, damn.
She's listening, brother. She is. And look, the reason why I say
where my money?
Because Apple said, hey, you know what? Yeah, we tapping in. We got $94 million settlement for y'all to come get this money, honey. Get this strange change. Now, here's the twist. You can because they've been going back since 2015.
Paint with a twist?
Listening to us. You know what I'm saying? Now, Siri, iPhone with a twist. Look, she jumping up right now. As soon as I said the word,
she listening. The fans is watching.
We're gonna call her Riri with an S. That's what we're gonna call her right now. So Riri with an S ended up end up having to cause Apple some money, honey, and that's about $94 million, right? $94 million settlement.
Please, that's a drop in the bucket.
Oh,
give me a break. I know, right? That's a tax write-off.
But exactly, right? So
don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. Each person get benefit who had a Riri device since 2015. You got to be, and you can only get up to 5 credit on 5 of them, unless you decide to go and sue them yourself. And with that, you only get $20 per device. So if you look at it, Apple is just getting over on us.
Oh yeah.
And every year these devices get bought. They do 3 WWDCs every year, Worldwide Development Conference, right? So they do a Mac computer, then they do an iPad computer. iPad, and then they do a phone unveiling. So all these 3 things, not to mention the watches and their unsuccessful Apple VRs, right? Those things that you pay $3,500, get your money back and then some. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these things happen, and you only get $100 back. Come on now, Apple. Y'all got to do better.
Yeah,
y'all gonna make more money.
Way more money.
But see, this is
what
what I
use
look
that
at.
data for? That's what I want to know.
They use that data. Everybody's using the data for AI. That's why they came out with their Apple Intelligence technology. But what they're gonna do, they're like, okay, we paid $94 million instead of doing 465 R&D, research and development. They'll go ahead and just say, hey, we got a whole bunch of information from Siri. Let's go ahead and plug this into our AI and pay out a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure they probably would have paid more. Why? Because the data is more important than the dollar to them. What do we say? Data is the new drug, and AI is the new plug.
That is the new drug. Hey, for real, man. With so much going on with AI, man, you got a good point, man, because I'm seeing here they denied any wrongdoing, but at the same time issued an apology. So it's like, you're right, man. They getting off easy because they're gonna make money off that data that they mine. They're data mining. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, if you're asking how are we able to clone voices and stuff like that, is because people like Apple or they're capturing it, storing it, and we're at the point, man. It's you need to come up with your contingencies, man. I don't think we could protect data anymore, man. If you really think about it, because there's too many what we call threat vectors, right? We're letting the vampires in. The vampire can't come in your house until you invite the vampire in, but we just got too many ways.
How do we do that? How are we inviting them in? Accepting the user term and agreements.
Yep.
A lot of us just simply like, yeah, whatever, accept and move on. You've given them the right to record you without you even realizing it. So it's not something that we can be mad at, because in order to use the device, you have to accept the user agreement.
And who really reads that? Who reads the?
You know what? I told you what I did the other day, and I still ended up just going ahead and selecting it. I highlighted everything, threw that bad boy in ChatGPT, and said, "Hey, make this make sense to me. I'm a 12-year-old educated kid," and then they broke it down to me, and I said, "Break it down to me in less than a page," because I mean, I'll read a page. Not I'm not about to be. And then they make the font so small because they know what they do.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the loophole: get yourself a business and make your own image and likeness contract with yourself. So if they take your information, your corporation can sue because your corporation owns your image and likeness.
Hey, that's a hell of a life hack. I see that.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna trademark myself.
Yeah. People get their own websites all the time. Like I have the domain Corey Alvarez because of the fact that if I ever become superhuman, super duper duper uber rich, I get that super uber rich, I know somebody's gonna want to try to profit off of it. I bought my own domain.
Good.
Corey, remember the little people who love and support you.
He's all about
Look,
Just play.
I'm all about the little people. Because if I find something that's gonna work, I'm gonna give y'all the game to change y'all lanes.
There you go.
Real
There you
spill.
go. Hey,
Ain't
that's
nothing wrong
real
with that.
good news you could use though, for real though. Get out. Hey, that's so. What's that life hack again? Can you share that again, sir?
Yeah. So get you a business and make sure you keep it up good too, because you want to own your own image and likeness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your image and likeness is important. And if you sign a contract with yourself, say for instance, my company is Core ENT. Core ENT gives a contract to Corey Alvarez, and then Corey Alvarez says, yes, I will give over my image and likeness to my own entity, my own corporation, and then probably put a term on it. Because if somebody wants to buy your company and then you actually sign to your image and likeness, then they own you too. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that, but create a name, image, and likeness (NIL) agreement between you and your corporation. So now, if somebody use your image and likeness without your approval, instead of these class action lawsuits, your corporation can go ahead and file a suit with them. And businesses more likely will go ahead and do two things. One, they have an insurance claim so they can just pay out. Number two, they won't use it again. They'll settle because you can easily take it to court.
That's smart, dude. I would have never thought about that. Hey, shout out to that one right there, man. Hey,
yeah, man.
That. In the meantime, file that claim if it's worth it.
Get your $100. It's an easy $100. They're gonna use your information regardless, because it says if you don't do anything, then you forfeit the right to make any type of money off of this, or unless you decide to go and get your own lawyer, and then you get your own lawyer. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars where you're probably not gonna make any money back. Just to say I sued and won Apple, it's not worth it.
Well, I'm not gonna get no money because I got an Android, so I'm missing out on that.
Don't be look.
Y'all
Apple probably was the first, because just think, Samsung had Bixby.
Yep,
and Google Voice had G1.
Man, we might as well just honestly, man, you're better off like doing what you did on top of make sure you got your identity theft, get your cyber insurance, man. Make sure you got that espionage insurance. We've been talking about this stuff. I mean, that's where we are these days. Like when you get in your insurance policies, make sure you add those line items. Get house insurance, car insurance, life insurance, cyber insurance. Like, just get it, man.
Yeah.
So you were talking about getting contracts, right? Getting a contract with yourself. I like that. That's a hell of a life hack. But when you brought up the contracts, man, you made me think about the next topic I want to talk about, man, and that's government contracting, especially in the DoD. So unless you've been under a rock, right? The theme of this administration has been make the government more efficient. Am I lying?
No.
That's what DOGE is, Department of Government Efficiency.
Now, as a taxpayer, Corey,
yes,
do you want your government to be efficient with tax dollars?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
How efficient do you want them to be, sir?
As efficient as they can. Here's the problem. Not problem. Here's my thing. If tax dollars are being going to good use, I'm not tripping. Because, Compton used to have a gang of potholes. Those are tax dollars that fill them. Law enforcement, law enforcement is very important in certain communities, because if you're hearing a lot of gun violence is happening in areas, and you have the right type of programs for like overtime for police officers, and they're bringing crime down, that's a good use of tax dollars being good to you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at all these things because of the fact that these not only just provide safety for community, it provides jobs for people, right?
Yep.
And that's what we're all about. I mean, I understand a lot of people feel a certain type of way how things are going. My whole situation is this: let's find the good in what we got, and let's just move forward.
No, I'm with that.
Yeah.
An excellent point, right? So you want to see results, you want efficiency, you want jobs to be created. At the end of the day, you just want good quality service with them tax dollars that get spent. That's kind of what I'm picking up on, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So just to share with y'all, the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act, it actually approved a program that the DoD can use to do exactly what you described, sir. It gives acquisitions professional this new tool that could really streamline and make the acquisition process of services, products, tools, everything, right? It gives them that tool to streamline it and make it efficient. And it pushed out this initiative called Anything as a Service. And when I say anything, I mean anything. There's some targeted areas, right, within that. One of the big ones that jumps out to me is space as a service. So, Bobby, you probably can attest to this. When I say space as a service, what does that bring to mind?
Some of the work that I do.
Some of the work that you do. But what happened recently especially with government employees, to where you might need space rented out as a service?
When you talking about space, you talking about like outer space, or you talking about like I got an extra room?
Like space, building space.
Building space.
Yeah. What happened to where being able to get space as a service is now important to the government?
I mean, it's important to the government because now without, if you have people that elected to do the DRP, the delayed retention program, now that just opens up desk area for people in different buildings, different areas. So what you could end up doing is consolidating members of teams into other areas, freeing up more space in other buildings. Is that kind of where you're going up?
Close. So remember what had happened was all the government.
I don't know what answer you're looking for.
I see where you're going with it. But what had happened was, remember when all the government employees were told they had to come back?
Oh yeah.
So remember,
we know what you're talking about.
Rewind back to COVID, right? When we got used to working remote, hybrid, and stuff like that. But top of this year, baby, they was you coming back.
February.
Yep.
So work from where? Work from your office.
So unfortunately, the space was not available for everybody to come back. So the space as a service gives the government the ability to actually buy space as a service. This program, Anything as a Service, when I was saying they can actually now use this program to get space as a service because they surged with they need more space, right? Software as a service, I don't think that's new to anybody. Data as a service, XaaS, yep. Data as a service. These all these different product codes, right? That are eligible to be placed under this program, Anything as a Service, and essentially, it think Netflix, but for DoD contracts. Like, Netflix, if it's working good, you pay as you go, baby. Like at any point in time, if the Netflix isn't performing the way you need it to perform, what do?
Pull out.
Cut it.
Pull out. You cut that subscription. That's essentially what Anything as a Service is if the DoD, wait a minute, did I just
let's focus.
Wait a minute. All these D's going around and then you don't pull out. It's just like, whoa.
Sorry. As soon as I said it, I'm like, no, Bobby.
You definitely gonna need Anything as a Service if you don't pull out, okay?
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. You want to know how they became mothers?
Exactly.
Take a guess.
You didn't pull out.
Oh man.
Oh Lord. I'm sorry. All right, let's focus.
Man. That was good. That was good.
Anything as a service.
Anything as a, I guess I don't think that's gonna be approved as one of the anythings that could be acquired using tax dollars. I think that's how a lot of scandals happen. That was good. That's funny.
Pull out.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna leave that as a marker. Let's go. We're gonna talk about it again, I promise you. It's gonna be like,
I think what Corey mentioned earlier was pretty much on point with what the expectation is of if our government tax dollars are going to good things. I think that's something, regardless of what side of the aisle you can sit on, you can get behind that. I think the only thing I would add onto what Corey said, I won't take anything away because I'm all for more police officers in certain communities and stuff to help keep crime down, filling potholes. I'm all for that and stuff. But I think essentially over time, I would like to see a lot of transparency within the government. There's so much shady crap happening all the time, and I would like to say, oh, okay, hey, this year we spent this much money from these organizations, and it was able to help fix homes for veterans, or is able to go help the needy or the disabled in these communities or something like that. Really pinpoint where our tax dollars are going, because I think that would kind of free up a lot of questions as to where's our money going. I don't want to see billions of dollars being given to other countries.
The goal of anything as a service. So it's and again, that goes back to the Netflix model, right? The subscription-based pay as you go, to where the type of reporting that's going to be set up under this is going to give those government contracting officers that ability to see, is it working the way we want to? Okay, cool. And they'll be able to keep using it. But if it's not, like you said, they cutting that subscription. You're right there. So, but also too, one of the things where I think, if you've never been around government contracting, Corey, the acquisition process is pretty long and strenuous.
Oh yeah,
it's very expensive. The traditional way that at least the Department of Defense, the traditional way, it can take a lot of time. It could cost a lot of money. The administrative overhead that comes with acquiring a contract, it can get pretty pricey. But the anything as a service gives contracting officers a tool to streamline it, make it fast, get it quick. There's a few different product codes like cloud, data that we talked about, space as an actual physical space if you need extra space to put people coming back to work. The way that program works, they can enter these product codes under that program, and if it gets approved, they have to be able to award that contract within 100 days.
That's quick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have to be able to award that contract within 100 days.
So let me ask this question, right? How can they forecast? How can they forecast the benefit of the contract if, let's say, they have, like, say for instance, the contract is a term of a year, right? Or I know government contracts got to be longer, but I'm just saying if it's a year, and in the first 4 months they don't see progress, but it could be just a downturn in that particular industry. Would they just say, let's go ahead and cut this $1 million contract that we have, and then so will they? So who benefits from the process? I mean, do the company have to pay that money back, or they just count it as a loss, or does somebody else pick up the remaining part of that contract? Or you see what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking, as a salesperson.
So I need my acquisition professionals out there to chime in on that. And this is new, so I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a very good question. You gave me something to get back to you on that. However, I know this: if they're not getting the quality they want within a specified amount of time, this gives them the ability to cancel that subscription and again be able to re-award that contract within 100 days. So it gives them that ability to move quick. You're not giving me what I wanted as a service at the quality level I needed at, then you getting replaced, baby.
But what I'm looking at is like, okay, the person who loses the contract, do they have to forfeit over that money?
I think that's gonna be contract by contract, however that was negotiated. So because all contracts are negotiated differently, so I can't say one size fits all. I'm the acquisition professional, I don't know. I mean, because if they receive the services, I don't know if they can get that money back unless people were being malicious and negligent. But I think it's gonna be on a contract by contract basis and whatever. negotiate.
As far as how the money goes, I think it depends on what's written up in the contract because contracting is such a it's very vast because you have big companies that have been doing it for so long. It's easier for them to kind of get contracts because the government already knows they have the manpower available to meet a mission standard, whereas there are some smaller companies who maybe the government hasn't worked with before, so they may put them on a 1-year contract and kind of see how they go, and depending on how well they perform, they may end up either extending the contract or either that company can rebid on the same exact positions.
Yeah, they'll get first rights to the bid of the contract if they deem towards the end of that contract that the partnership is working out.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on the type of people that you hire.
Yeah.
Depends on the contract. There's so many different factors that would go into that. I don't think if they're not doing well in 4 months, because that's really a small amount of time. That's a short amount of time. Now, a year time frame, and you're bringing in crappy people, they're not performing well, mission's not getting done. Chances are when that 1 year is over, that is it. That is it.
Yeah.
But I could tell you because I've been contracting for so long, the good thing about a lot of the spots that contractors fill is that even if the company that you work for does not win that contract, the position is still there. So whoever bid on that contract and won, that doesn't necessarily mean that you lose your job. Most of the time they still offer you the same job. You can either keep the same pay or get a small pay bump. It's not anything major, but sometimes those things happen too.
There's a term they call Corey called badge flipping, where basically let's say if let's just say on a Friday the contract with one company ended and then the new contract starts on Monday. The contract employees, the people actually working in those positions, will just turn in their badge for the previous company, come in with a new badge for the new company.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's pretty common. That's pretty common because doing
it'll still be the same employees. They just have a different badge.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes, some people. Yeah. If they were good.
If they were good.
Yeah.
I had somebody who didn't know about contracting one time, and they were like, "Oh, so you're a temp?" Nah, dog, I ain't a temp. What are you talking about? I was like, "No, I'm a full-time worker." I was like, "And our contract is like a 5-year contract stuff, so they can be anywhere from like 1, 3, 5, 7 years, depending on what the mission looks like that they're supporting."
Yeah, I haven't seen one longer than 5 years, but then again, I'm still relatively new being on that side of the house. But what I'm used to seeing is either a 2, 3, or 5 year contract. And it'll normally be your base period of performance, which would be that first year, and then every year after that is an option year.
Yeah.
So if you meet the requirements, at least satisfactory, the government has that option to exercise their next option year. And you heard it on the show too when Bobby said that their contract got renewed. That meant that the government chose to use the next option year, right?
Nice.
So that they did a good job. So good job to the team over there. You know what I mean?
Good job.
So
you gotta hire quality people for those positions and stuff. That has a lot to do with it too. So you can't come in messing around and whatnot. You gotta work, or else you're not gonna get stayed. They'll replace you.
Even more so, man. Doge and set the new standard, man. So, and this anything as a service, man, it's looking to be the new model. If this performs well and it shows to be very efficient, then this could be the model that other federal organizations use. So right now, the DoD is piloting this program. Again, it was approved. This actually was something that was rolled out from the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act. So more to come, man. So.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I'm excited too, man. We'll see how this works out.
Like, say for instance, if I have like and I guess I have to be military, but if I had a military podcast, right? And I wanted to get a contract with the military with my podcast, then that'll be something to be able to submit to them. And if they say, hey, you know what? We're not getting the message out for what we like. We're just going to X this. right? We're just gonna cut it off. They can do that.
Well, I don't know if that would be one of the services, because there's only right now select product service codes that could be used.
Yeah.
So I don't recall. I think that may fall under marketing with it, which is a thing. There are contracts for marketing, because there are marketing contractors that help with like the recruitment videos and stuff like that. So if you see like a recruitment commercial on TV, most likely that was contracted out for some type of media company to do that. Yes, if that service was one of the product service codes that was entered into the anything as a service program.
Right, which is in the pilot base, pretty much pilot mode right now, right?
Yeah. So if it's good and the DoD adopts that DoD wide, maybe.
We can have a technically speaking podcast for veterans, military only.
We do represent the veterans out there, man. Hey, IGY6, man. Come on now.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of military, we keeping it military friendly on this, man. So our next topic, man, I wanted to lighten up the mood a little bit, man. When it comes to veterans sharing our experience, it tends to get a little dark, you know, but this time we want to make this one fun, man. So I'm gonna start this out because I want to share a video about a military stereotype that I've ran into. So let me bring this up real quick.
Here we go.
It's about to go. Let me see. Let me get this thing.
Do we gotta put a disclaimer?
Nah, no disclaimers. No disclaimers. No disclaimers. Let me go ahead and roll this out real quick.
May I help you? Yeah, I need directions to the Army Education Center.
AEC, that's building 2310. Park your vehicle in the green zone, step inside, get a pass.
Listen, I'm running a little late. Can I drive somewhere?
Yes, sir. You can drive to the green zone, get a pass.
Look, I'm not even in the Army. I just have to make
Park in the green zone, step inside, get a pass.
Right. Green zone, inside pass. Probably get along good with my ex-wife.
Watching for you.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the Army Education Center. Captain Tom Murdoch.
Captain Murdoch's not at the AEC. Captain Murdoch's at the ARC.
ARC.
Looking for Captain Murdoch.
Yeah.
The AEC is building 2310. You want building 4475. Look, here's what you do. You go right here. Take another right at the PX. Go half a click till you see the DPTM Center. Then take a left.
You lost him at click.
If you hit the RFPC, you've gone too far.
DPTM, RFPC. Can I buy a vowel?
And that's it, man. My first funny military stereotype is we have a bad habit of communicating with acronyms. You've seen it on the show.
Acronyms?
Communicating with acronyms.
Oh, yeah. Because I'll be like, y'all be like, the DD57J. I'm like, okay. I got a podcast. I have a podcast face for it. It's like this.
Yeah, you do that when Bobby and I start shouting out like different acronyms.
It's one of those things where, like, if you know, you know. It's just kind of it.
And I'll be like,
my husband hates it. He's all, no, I don't know what you're talking. No, I can't even. Just
dude, there's been times Bobby will talk some army, throw some army acronyms at me, and I'm like, what? I was Air Force, dog. I don't.
And some of our acronyms, even though the letters are the same, they are something different.
Yep.
They are different.
What you about to say, Corey?
So, because I get it, and I think every organization has that, right? Because when I worked in T-Mobile and the sales, right, we had ARM, acknowledge, respond, move forward. Right.
Yeah.
And then there was task. You know what I'm saying? There was task, and of course everybody used SWAT. So I think acronyms has been a part of the life. Look at USA, right? Acronym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think the fact that
we do it bad. Matter of fact, I got one I could throw at Bobby that's gonna be Air Force centric, and I could see if she knows what I mean. So I could say, look, I'm gonna do good on my EPR, so I can make BTZ, so I can get promoted to NCO quickly. Do you know what I just said, Bobby?
So yeah, that's your personnel review, which is similar to like an NCOER for me. And then your BTZ. Back to zits. I don't know about the BTZ.
So what I said was, I'm gonna do good on my evaluation performance report.
Right.
So I can make below the zone, which basically below the zone is a program where you can make a promotion to non-commissioned officer. That's the NCO. So that's basically what I said, right? But I said most of it.
I've never heard that term. That's definitely Air Force.
Yeah.
No, man.
Hit me with one, Bobby, and see if I can make it out. An Army one.
So the one that was different from the Air Force was the COA, the COA, using the term COA.
Wait a minute. COA, COA. Courses of action, right?
Right. So courses of action, but in the Army, I knew it as a certificate of achievement.
Oh, damn.
So you're like, why does everybody need COAs? Like, this is what I'm thinking when I read it. I was like, I'm gonna have somebody to sit with me to describe it with this time, but I don't understand why everybody's getting certificates.
Like, why are you getting a certificate? Why are you getting a certificate? I'm supposed to get a certificate.
What's some funny?
Do I have to write these? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, am I supposed to be writing these? What the hell?
What's some funny military stereotypes you may have had or heard about, Corey?
Jarhead.
Huh?
Like jarhead. Like, I guess buzz cuts and jarheads. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Get a jarhead.
Good point. I had my buzz cut once.
The military wants everybody to look similar.
Mm-hmm.
To look similar when you look uniform, you move as a unit, right? But the jarhead, I think, comes from the term of where I guess the Marines, because of how they look or either how they develop, they look like their heads were in jars.
Yeah.
Right.
Shape.
I thought it was because they had their haircut a certain way. I literally thought it was because what they had was like the bowl cut, and then it was like a jar. Buzz haircut. Yeah. That's all I mean, I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? G.I. Joe, everybody, G.I. Jane, you know.
Yeah. Hey, good point. Good. I remember that was kind of big when I first came in the 90s because G.I. Jane was huge in the 90s, right? So I've heard that. Good point. Yeah. Here's one. And I may have been guilty of this. And I'm sorry, Marines. There's a bad stereotype of Marines having low education. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. I got a chance to work with Marines a few years ago. They were probably some of the strictest military I had a chance to. You laughing because
the person I work closely with, he's a Marine, and I came in one day, I set a red crayon on his desk, and I was like, little snack for later, in case y'all don't know, they eat crayons for snacks.
That's enough.
And he goes, first of all, you know the blue tastes better than the red. I was like, yeah, that's my bad, dog, but all I have is the red crayon for you.
That's crazy.
And the Air Force is the chair force.
They think we're lazy. Yup, I've been called that one before.
And then I have heard Army ain't ready for the Marines yet. That's what I have heard.
Ready for the Marines yet?
I've heard that.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So here's one that I've heard, man. That everyone is in the war fighting position in the Army. That's one that not all soldiers are in that. You got soldiers that do accounting, finance, all kind of things. Yeah, you're always a rifleman first, right? But they have
so we're a soldier first. We are a combat fighter first and foremost on all things. We are here to kill. We ain't here to hold your hand and baby you. We are here to take people out. I know it sounds dark, but that's how war is. It's just
war,
what
baby.
it is.
War.
Okay, it is just what it is. We are here to kill all day, every day. Anything else you do is secondary to killing the enemy first. That's it. That's it. We take the enemy out, and then if you do paperwork, okay, baby, you can go and do your paperwork. But right here, this is what we're doing.
We kill and we pull out.
Pull out, baby.
Look, this is why the flag flies.
There you go.
This is why the flag flies this way. We are constantly in a mode of going into battle. I had a civilian tell me one day, "I think your flag is on wrong."
Oh.
And I was in uniform, so I was like, "Oh, Bobby, be careful with your words. Be careful with your words."
That's funny.
With your words. I said, "Well, it might look like that at first because I was like, Lord, give me the opportunity to educate people. Here's where we are. Our flags are that way on our uniform because when we fly colors into battle, our colors fly this way, our stripes fly this way, and our stars are behind us as we're going into battle."
Oh wow.
Some good education right there.
So for those who don't know, no, our flag is not on incorrectly. We are always in a mode of going into war and taking our stars and stripes into battle with us and stuff.
I'm gonna just say this. Bobby is the most gangster one out of the whole podcast crew. I think Bobby got more guns than probably.
He's in the army.
Yeah.
No, I only got 5.
Oh, she only got 5 guns. That's all. Okay.
That's it. That's it. That's
not even a lot, Corey.
Lightweight. You're not knowing, Corey. That's lightweight. That's
look, hey, you got guns, I got video games. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You shoot them, I play the shoot.
Here, take this Xbox controller.
Oh,
hey, I don't do Xbox, but okay.
Yo, Creative Native just tapped in. He said, "I don't get this one, so y'all gonna help me out with this one. I'm going to eat this pizza and drink some soda. I don't get that one.
Yeah,
I don't know that one. Y'all got to help me out with that one. Here's one. How many veterans do you know that cannot sit with their backs to any doors?
A lot. Oh, a lot.
I can't do it, man.
I know people.
I can't do it.
They like, I gotta know where the entrance is when I walk in the door. It's like they sweep the place before they have breakfast. I'm like, bruh, okay.
I do. I look at who's in the restaurant wherever we're going because if I think somebody's shady, I want to sit where I can see people.
Yep. I need a good vantage point. Yep.
And you know what? So I have a fear of sleeping near windows. I don't sleep near windows.
Nope. Okay. That's another one. That's another one.
So why? Yeah. Here's the question. Give us the why to these. I want to know the why. Why you don't?
Because if bullets were ever to come flying, I'm not. There's less of a chance of me getting hit if I'm closer to the wall and able to duck and cover quickly because I don't sleep very well to begin with. I'm a light sleeper, so I'm able to roll out of bed, hit the ground, and I have a Glock right next to me, and then I have my shotgun not far. So I'm able to not retreat, but get into a place of cover where I can return fire. That's always what I'm thinking. Should it go down that way, I want to be ready because I've got. I mean, I know they're like husbands. You're supposed to be the protector of their family, but my husband's not familiar with weapons like I am, so I'm kind of the protector of my family. Yeah, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. We know our strong suits, and his is not weapons, and that's okay.
So let me know the can't sit with your back against the entrance. Tell me that.
Hey man, because when you deploy, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you could get snuck up on and captured.
It's called a choke point.
Yeah. You don't.
You want to eliminate what the choke point references, and so, you know what? A few weeks ago, when I was in New Mexico with my family, and I walked into my uncle's house for the first time. I had a shiver run through me because as soon as he opened up the door, there was immediately a wall there, and I told him, I said, Uncle Sam, which is my uncle's name. I said, Uncle Sam, I kid you not. I was like, this is a choke point. He goes, I don't understand. I said, watch. I said, if somebody came barreling through this door because of how close the door is to this wall and I get stuck right here, there's a chance I won't be able to defend myself and there's nowhere here to cover. He's not thinking that. But the moment I came in, I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. At all. I don't like this.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you guys this.
Who's coming into the door gives me time to be able to react should something happen. Should somebody come in and like, everybody get down, this whole place, you know what I mean? If somebody comes in like that, which we've seen that happen on multiple, news stories and stuff like that, you want to be ready to be able to react and protect your family in a good amount of time. So I don't even like sitting near doors, but I definitely don't sit in my back.
Me neither. Nope. And Creative Native said you have to be able to see the whole scene, not just the picture. You're damn right. Hey, you get a group of veterans. Now you got people that's fighting for who's gonna be the one that's left with them.
Yes.
Like, nah, dog. You sit there. No, you sit there.
It'll be a whole you in the restaurant. They be like, like, and then you walk to the door and be like, oh, are we having a meeting? I'm like, hey, I get it. I mean, I don't do it because of the fact that I'm not a veteran, but I make sure that I can see for protection purposes. Like if my kids are with me, you know what I'm saying? They're usually on the side of me. My wife she's on the side of them, especially when we sit in those booths. In the booth, I got to be at the edge of the booth all the time, just in case if somebody pop off, I can be able to, I'm big enough to take the hits while my family can duck. Because I personally, as the older I'm getting and I'm understanding, you know what I'm saying, my role as a husband, my role as a man, and my role as a father, like I'm supposed to die first. When I say that, like I'm supposed to make sure that my family, I secure the family. And I'm not, I mean, everybody may feel different about it, and that's cool, but I just know that I don't know how I could take knowing that, you know what I'm saying, there was an area where I could protect my family and didn't, and one of them died.
100%.
I'm the same way, Corey. I'm obviously not a husband or a father, but I would take bullets and lay down my life before anything ever touches my kids or my husband. And I know it's probably, y'all don't come at me. I know that's probably demasculating, but that's nothing against him, but it's ingrained in me, and there's nothing I could do to get that out of me. 18 years being in the military doesn't just go away overnight, and it's probably not going to. I had somebody tell me one day, they're like, Bobby, you're nice, but man, you're like rough around the edges. I'm like, bro, that's the Army in me, man.
And be soft. I don't know now. You know what I mean?
Like, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, because these rough around the edges are what's gonna get us out of some tight shit so that shit go down. That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Ooh, tell me about shit going down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of going down, man. Hey, one last thing before we switch topics. So Creative Native said Corey needs to step up his game. You need to have both controllers and pew-pews. Pew-pew-pew.
You know what? You're right. You're right. But I'm going to tell you right now, my wife will not let me get a gun if I want it. I can't, but I got a whole bunch of knives. I got knives.
That's that Alvarez in you, huh?
You ain't bringing no knives to a gunfight.
No, you sure not.
No, I know I'm not. But please believe, you know what I'm saying? I know how to cut a person real deep. I know to get them right here. Get them right there.
Straight mafia style.
Get them right there. Artery slices.
I mean,
straight to the leg, my friend. Main artery runs from the top of your leg all the way to your heart. Get a good stab in that leg.
So if you did bring a knife to a gunfight and you needed to run, Bobby, what could help him possibly run faster?
Yo, I don't know if he's gonna help you run faster, but I tell you what, if you get hit, it'll definitely help you out. Working in a secure facility, we often look at new things that are coming with the technology coming out. Since this is technically speaking, let's get into a tech topic real quick. So here's some news. We have Bluetooth shoes that are now coming out. They are not allowed to have them where we work, secure facilities, which is why I was like, wait a second, Bluetooth shoes. And so I took the article I was looking at and went right back to it, and I was like, check this out. I went to nanalyze.com, Nanalyze.com has like the 11 different versions of the type of smart shoes that are now available. They have these all the way from regular running people to older folks. Now, the ones I was looking at for the elderly generation, basically it monitors how you step and it can determine if a fall has taken place. And inside of the bottom of that shoe, there's a sensor where when you get the shoes, you set it up for having a emergency contact. So if you were
Oh,
to fall
wow.
down, it'll recognize you having fallen down, and I think it gives you so much time to kind of get back up. But if you don't within a certain time frame, it sends a GPS location to your emergency contact, letting them know that you've possibly fallen. And so these aren't
Okay.
just good for elderly people who do a lot of hiking on trails where they're a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
out of touch. It'll do the same thing, send a GPS location to allow trackers to be able to come in and pick you up and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, use
So
it
I
for
have
That's dope,
different
bro.
purposes too. But they are also doing other things where they push analysis of the way that you walk, the way that you jump, the
mhm.
way that you run, and they'll send it to a smart device to be able to analyze how you can better perform
Yeah,
while wearing these shoes based off of how you walk. It determines how much pressure you put on your insoles. Really, it's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I'm looking at this right here on my other screen, and I'm like, you know what? That is fascinating. And you know what they should do? Just
Hmm.
being honest. Because I'm always looking for ways for them to repair it. Somebody's gonna get rich off of it. You know what I'm saying? When y'all do, make sure y'all throw us a bone or two. Um, like socks. If you can create a sock like a pair of socks, comfort socks where everybody could wear, you could you can probably eliminate a lot of trafficking. Because when I think of this, I'm
Hmm.
thinking about sex trafficking, how so many kids are getting lost and getting taken, right? But if
Mhm.
you have trackable wear, you
Ah,
could be able to locate somebody, and then
yeah,
you can
Mhm.
yeah.
locate. You can, you know what I'm saying? Especially because I'm thinking kids. I understand elderly,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking kids. Kids ain't gonna want to wear no tech shoes, but if they put on some socks and they go into school and stuff, parents can track them. They can be able to see where they are, and certain socks probably could be. I mean, just think about the nanotechnology when it's coming into smartwear. You could be able to check pulses, so you could check a pulse in your leg to see if they're okay, if their heart is okay, if it's
Yeah,
elevated,
yeah.
things like that.
Mhm.
You realize, and then they could go ahead they can
Circumvent.
bring it over. Yeah, circumvent. They can bring it over to um, people who have heart issues, right? Because if you have heart issues, you can be able to check the heartbeat. So you could probably do preventative measures where life can be saved because of the fact they could be having a stroke. Like I said, my mother had a stroke and she fell. Now she didn't
Mhm.
tell us that she fell until after she got to the hospital, right? So
Mm.
if I'd known that, you know what I'm saying, that's something that I could have been aware of when I first got there. So I'm actually in my mindset thinking about these shoes because God forbid my mother falls and she falls where she can't reach her phone or she doesn't
Yeah.
have her phone or
Yeah,
she, you know what I'm saying? Because older people, when they fall, they not looking to call nobody. The first thing they're screaming out is help,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
help. You know what I'm saying? And some of them don't even like to take phones with them. So I
Point,
hate to say it,
point.
but you know what I'm saying? Company that rhymes with Snapple probably will take advantage of this stuff and then use Riri to be able to transmit information with their smartwatches. Just being honest.
Nah, good point. Good point. Because when you were going down that journey, man, I can see the benefits of that, man. So maybe you get your parents a pair of smart shoes and maybe set an alert. Like if it detects a fall, I wouldn't mind getting an alert and I could call, check, or maybe send someone. Hey man, can you go check on
Send
my
somebody.
mom's real quick or something? Or hey, we
Mhm.
getting older, dog. We getting older,
Yeah.
so we
Some of
we
these
need that for ourselves, man. Just keeping it
Some of
real.
these shoes start out at, right a little over $100 all the way up to
That's not
200
bad.
and maybe even just a
Not bad
little
at
bit
all.
more than that. But when you really think about in the grand scheme of things, if I was to pay $150 for a pair of shoes and have some peace of mind as
Yeah.
to whether or not my loved one was gonna
Yep.
be, able to be helped quickly because I invested into a
Yeah.
pair of shoes, that's a really a small price to pay, especially if you're able
Yeah.
to get the ambulance out there to their house a lot more quicker. Where if they weren't wearing these smart shoes,
100%.
they would just be
100%.
stuck until
Yeah.
somebody
Exactly.
finds them. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Nah, I like that.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, the same thing is going to happen with the smart wear. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Think about it like if a kid is cold, right? Your newborn is cold. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk into the room anyway to make sure they're okay. But what if you can be able to get a notification on your phone saying, hey, your baby's temperature is a bit higher than normal based off of the smart blanket they have. You know that they probably running the fever. You go in there, you know what I'm saying? You do your tactics to get the babies.
Good point.
All this stuff is going to, like I said, the billionaire. Here's the thing. There's this acronym I came up with today. And I'm going to say it here, but but no.
Go ahead.
The acronym is HELP. HELP, help. Help eliminating large problems.
Ooh.
That's how millionaires get rich. They find a problem and they fix it.
Yep.
But it got to be a large enough problem where it hits not just one demographic. It hit at least 2 or 3 demographic of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're bringing solutions to the table. They're not bringing problems. Exactly. They're bringing solutions.
Yeah, because these are problems. I mean, these are problems that everybody have, and there are some solutions. But if you can get it, I mean, another way I know how rich people get rich faster by information. They find a way to fix it quickly. Fix it quickly. If there's a problem and you can fix it faster than a projected time, you're hired.
That's what it is.
You go to an interview and somebody says, okay, well, we can do this job. Okay, we can do that job. And I learned it from the ET UOU book.
Yeah.
If you can eliminate your competition in a meeting, why not? The NBA he had a meeting with the NBA because they love one of his YouTube videos. NBA, they said, well, we're looking at 3 people. His ET's manager said he'll do it for free. He said, for free? He said, yeah. He was like, so all we got to do is pay for you to fly out? No. He was like, we'll use our own money and come out there and do it for free. Did the motivation speech for the NBA for free. I think it was 15, 30 seconds. 6 months later, Wingstop calls them. Hey, we want to do this. He was like, yeah, have you seen my NBA video? Yeah. He's like, okay, well, yeah, just the FYI, you know what I'm saying? We charge $30,000. Bet. $30,000 for a 15-second video on Wingstop. Because of the $50, because of the free work he did for free work he did for the NBA. Mm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can make a decision right away, you eliminate the competition, you eliminate the company looking and doing the research, the development to find somebody else to be able to solve the problem. That's why when it came to me doing, go ahead.
He took a short-term loss because he saw a long-term gain.
Yep.
Exactly. Because if the NBA was going to reach out to him, guess who else going to reach out to him? NFL.
Yep.
MLB. You feel what I'm saying? All these people love to have that. They need that intensity. And then he's in locker rooms with all these other people because he did that one freebie, but other people are now paying him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do free, if you can do free, you can do fast, and you can do fantastic. That's it. You're the most marketable product out there. And that's even with contracts.
So you said help eliminate large
problems.
And I think these smart shoes are doing that too, man. So shout out to them, man. More to come on that. I feel like that's gonna be a huge industry, and that's just kind of highlighting the importance of the Internet of Things. So for all you tech
IoT.
people out there, man, IoT, baby, it just keeps growing and growing. And you know what? I gotta reiterate what I said earlier when we were talking about Apple. We're just gonna have to get used with our data being out there, man, because it's you cannot stop progress, right? Like I want the smartware. I want to be able to get data to my phone to know where my kids are. What if some of that smartware is sending data back to their doctor, and the doctor can use that to help, kind of understand what's going on and get you the prescriptions you need quicker, right? I'm for it, man. I'm for it. I'm here for that, man. So, but hopefully, when these shoes come out, we're not gonna have high ass tariffs that's gonna make them expensive as hell, man. What's going on with these tariffs, Corey?
Let's talk tariff. Before we go and get into this,
greatest with the tariffs, sir.
Before we talk tariffs, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we are giving you news that you can use. And before I get into these tariffs, I'm gonna tell you something, right? We provide so much information on this channel that I'm sure that you're gonna pick it up and change your name, change the lane. You can change your name from Mr. to Sir, meaning that you get elevated. You get letters from behind your grades. Like, hey, before I finish this term paper, I heard technically speaking talking about that. Let me go ahead and implement that term paper or that thesis so you can get that master's, right? Or that doctor's. Just think about that. But now, time to talk tariffs. 4 T's. Time to talk tariffs. Okay.
4 T's.
4 T's. You know what I'm saying? Not like the drink, not like the 40 ounce, but the 4 T's.
I see what you did there. Okay.
So China and America has agreed to bring down the tariffs for 90 days. 10% charge on tariffs.
However, that both sides, bi-directional, 10% for them and 10% for us?
I believe it's 10% for them and 10% for us. I could be off, but I believe that it started today. Like it started today. Everything else. Today is the first day because Donald Trump and I'm about to call him Pastor Donald Trump, President Donald Trump.
Trump.
Nope.
I respect the position.
I was reading that China has a bunch of stuff sitting in their ports right now. Bunch of product, and they can't go nowhere. They're losing out on money because of that. It's a business tactic.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, for the next 90 days, hurry up and get them Temu orders in. Get your Shein orders in, because the prices they back down right now for 90 days. Go, put them orders in right now. Right now. Hey, Christmas, early Christmas.
I heard that Temu and Shein have they have a few warehouses here in the States where I guess some of their biggest products that sell, they actually put in like truckloads of them here so that when people buy them, they're already locally here to be shipped out. They don't have to be shipped necessarily from overseas right after you purchase them.
They do have some ways. They have storehouses here.
Quicker.
They stocked up their surplus because they were getting ready for the boost, the rise in the tariffs. So, but if there was something you had your eyes on that was not at a warehouse here in the U.S., better hurry up and buy. Hurry up,
hurry up and buy.
Oh God. Okay.
I haven't heard that in a while.
But so here's the thing.
Not the lady doing flips in the back.
So the thing about this is, I have a question.
What's up?
Because there's been companies that's been already affected by it, right?
Yeah.
So do they now lower their prices because of this, or do they just keep those prices high and benefit off the extra price?
Good question. That is a very good question. Chime in on that, everyone that's live, man. Repeat that question. That's a great question.
So the tariffs pricing that was in place, right? That it caused certain merchandise, certain goods to go extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
Do those prices drop now that they're in place for this 90-day grace? Or is it going to go back up? Or is it going to stay the same? And then that extra money that they're going to make the company or the organization that raised the price, are they going to just pocket that. So is that going to help boost the economy or what? That's my question.
Good question. What do you think, Bobby? So I see you thinking. That thinker is thinking.
I would hope, right? Because if you want to keep customers, once you start raising your prices, you're not going to have as many customers anymore.
But if you lower the prices and then 90 days later,
I think it depends on how much they go up. Remember, I was telling y'all that I had some stuff I was looking at on Shein, and it had only gone up $1 or $2. That's not going to make a big difference. $1 or $2 ain't going to make a difference. When you talk about a $17 item is now $87, F that. I'll go find something locally. That's just wild.
So I think she just answered the question with her answer as a consumer. So if I'm that business, right, who I had to raise my prices to accommodate what was going on, right, or compensate for what was going on, I gotta because it's at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's about my customer, right? That's just good business. So my customer knows that the tariffs went down to 10%, then I gotta accommodate my customer, man. I feel like I have to lower the prices to be commensurate with what's going on with the tariffs. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose that customer. And you said that when the prices went up, the thing that was gonna save the businesses with their customers of that relationship, right?
Yeah.
In order for me to maintain that good relationship, man, I feel like I need to do what's best, man. And let me help your pockets out. I could lower the prices back down right now, but just know, being honest with the customer, transparency, right? Like
transparency.
I gotta raise it back up and stay with me, man. We in this together. Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna have to happen, man.
I've seen some with the egg shortages. I think with the egg shortages, we've been having a lot of the different like Mexican restaurants and stuff that we go to. They say that their prices are going to have to be raised temporarily. Temporarily. When eggs would go back down and stuff, then the price would go down, which I think is understandable. When you used to pay, $3.80 for, a dozen and a half of eggs. Now it was like, what, $9 at one point. You're going to have to raise your prices to adjust for inflation, because if not, you won't make a profit. The whole idea of being in business is having business is to make a profit. I can see it from a business standpoint, but a lot of the signs I saw, they said temporary. So as prices go down, they will adjust their prices for that.
Good point. I have seen all those signs at the Mexican food restaurants I go to. Shout out to Blanquitas over there. You know what I'm saying? My Port San Antonio, shout out, because they hold me down, man. Blanquitas. Yeah, shout them. Hey.
That's the one over by Kelly, right?
Yep.
That's over by Kelly. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
That's my spot right there. Hey, Creative Native said that he's still waiting on his see-through G-strings from Tamu. So we need that shit there right now. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what I was
all right, brother, say? Let us know how those work out for you. Corey.
He also said that if what you buy is American built, the price has actually gone down for most products that I buy. I don't know. I don't do a lot of I don't know. I can have y'all noticed that? Have y'all been buying more American made products?
I always try to buy more American made products. On Saturday, when I was with my mom and my sisters and stuff, one of the painting with the twist that we went to, there were like two little boutiques right next to it. And we were like looking in the windows. We're like, oh man, look at this. And look at these clothes. And there was a little sale rack that said all final sales. So I was like, oh, let me go check this out. I found a cute shirt. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cute. I was like, $42. What the heck? Where's this made in? Made in USA. And I was like, I don't know if I would buy it. Not so much because of the price, but I was like, meh. And I started looking through the rack and I was like, wait a second, where's the rest of this stuff made? Made in China, shirt, final sale, $62. Made in China, final sale, $87. Wrong person. I went to Boot Barn. Boot Barn is known for having really, really good jeans. They do. They have really, really good jeans. But I was very upset. I didn't find a single made in America jean there.
That's what I'm saying.
Was made in China.
What is made in America, man? Like,
China.
We've done it to ourselves.
Yep.
We've done it to ourselves. We want instant gratification for every single little thing. as Americans, because we've grown in technology, some of it had to do with when we hit the industrial period, we started building and growing so quickly that we forgot how to make our own clothes, how to do some of the basic necessities, going out, killing an animal, skinning it for food and stuff like that. We're truly making a dinner from slaughter to the table type of stuff. And the same thing with clothes, straight from cotton, from picking cotton to putting it on your baby's back, because you have to sew it yourself. We've got so much technology now that does all that stuff for us. So
do we
I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that we ain't trying to do that shit.
Sorry.
I'll be honest with you.
Keeping it real.
Look, and I say for every black person who had to pick cotton, because I know I didn't.
Oh my gosh. I'm not talking about it like that.
My auntie, I'm talking about my auntie, all of them. Like I'm saying, I feel, and much respect to the farm to table people, right? You know what I'm saying? Where, you skin them alive. I'm about to learn how to sew my own clothes. Let me tell you something. It's the fact that, yes, we have gotten convenience, but there's some things that we don't have the trade skill patience for. Because if I go to Nuke and ask Nuke to make me a t-shirt, right, out of this cotton that I've already picked for him, Nuke gonna come back with some glue, strings, and probably some tape. It could be like, bruh, this is all I can do. Why? Because they don't want to do that shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. But yeah,
we're in quite the pickle, aren't we? Because we want all the manufacturing to come back. Like, do we have the factories? Do we have the infrastructure? Let's say they are there, how much of that needs to be updated, retrofitted, and brought up to code, safety? Like, there's a lot there, man. So I don't know. Have we in terms of just straight trade, right? Have we given the adversary too much leverage to where, okay, yeah, we'll negotiate, and we'll truce for 90 days, yeah,
and probably in another 90 days,
I think that's a good way of seeing it. We've given the adversary too much leverage, and now they try to hold it over our heads and be like, oh, now you poor Americans, now your prices are going to have to go up, and it's all because of the tariffs, or because of this person. And I think there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah, man. I mean, even though we're talking about China, we're kind of in a Mexican standoff, because yes, you said it earlier, they're not making money because they can't ship the stuff, but then at the same time we're limited on the products we can get, because we just can't make a lot of that stuff here, man. Maybe eventually, say what?
It'll come back.
Like
it'll come back, but we definitely gonna have to build the infrastructure. How long is that gonna take, right? Like, we're gonna have to reopen factories. How long does it take to reopen a factory?
Yeah.
So I mean,
you gotta have I'm about to curse, boy. You gotta have people that work in the factories. Ain't nobody trying to work in no factory, dog.
Yeah.
Unless I got TikTok in there. People right now, they dancing and getting millions of dollars. So why would they want to go ahead and open up a factory to go make $9.50 an hour when they can just dance for 45 minutes and get $450?
Last time I checked, I never heard anyone waking up, hell yeah, let me go work at the factory.
It ain't no $9.50 an hour. It's more than that, because they've talked about, because Trump is wanting manufacturing to come back to the States and stuff. And so he's found investors who are going to be able to put the money back into our economy, which is going to open up good paying jobs. I think a factory worker making over $21 an hour plus benefits, getting PTO, racking up money, putting it in your 401k. Those are all long-term things that we should be looking at. If somebody's like, man, you ain't gonna find me working for no $20 an hour. There is somebody out there who absolutely would. To them, that is a pay increase. That gives them the better opportunity to give to their children, to be able to live under better circumstances of stuff. If mom or dad is struggling, making $14 an hour, but 20, come on.
Now, so that's the difference.
I'm just wondering, what is the turnaround time to get said factories up and going? That's all I'm asking. So
I think realistically, like maybe 2 years.
2 years. So we got about 2 years before we start seeing those jobs, which I think is going to put us in a position where what Corey said, we'll extend it another 90 days. I just going to extend that thing another 180 days. Let's just go ahead and extend that thing for 365 more days because we need that time to build these factories, man. And here's
the thing. It gives an opportunity to spin it back to our second topic we was talking about. Service as a
anything as a service. Anything as a service. So, and you know what? Maybe that can be replicated in the private sector, right? Yeah. It's gonna be some interesting times. I mean, those like you said, right? What did you say? Help. What did you say?
Help eliminating large problems.
So this is definitely opportunities for anyone out there that knows the way. Do you have a specialty skill where you can get a factory up and running quick? I don't know, because if
I can tell you what you can do.
Now, baby. You in demand right now.
You in demand. No, for real. You know what I'm saying? Get you a 3D printer that can make shirts, and you in the game. Throw some cotton in the 3D printer, and you good.
That's not how that works.
Well, I'm talking about the next like company, organization, whoever that has the resources and the know-how to build factories. Oh, you about to come up, baby.
Yeah.
It's come up time. Hold on now. Hey, if anybody's looking for land to lease for a factory, holler at your boy. Holler at your boy. Wait a minute. I could do a long-term lease now.
And for at least 2 years, right?
Now we're talking about 20. Holla at
but
your
I mean,
boy.
we know that it's gonna take them 2 years to get that factory built.
It's all right. They can use the option. Hey, I just learned about leasing land now. You can use them option years. Let's talk. If you need some land here in Texas, West Columbia, close to water reservoirs to cool your factory equipment, holler at your boy. I can help you out. And if you up in the Lubbock area and you need something built to process cotton, because there's a lot of cotton fields in Lubbock, holler at your boy. I can help you out with that. We could talk some long-term land leases now. Let's go now. Hold on. This is getting better and brighter now.
Look, you know what I'm saying? I like that LTLL, long-term land leasing. Long-term land lease.
Long-term. Speaking of long-term,
that's some acronyms for your butt.
There you go. Speaking long-term, man. Long-term thing that we got to do as parents is teaching these kids, man. And we're going to close this night out, man, on a very important lesson we got to teach these kids. And what is that lesson, Bobby?
Well, I don't want to end it on too dark of a note, but
this shit is
something
dark.
we definitely something you don't really think about and nobody ever wants to discuss. I learned this while selling life insurance. Things people don't like to talk about, but being able to be open, honest, and upfront with your kids about another part of life, which is death. And being able to allow your kids, don't keep them away from it. I'd say be open, upfront, honest, listen to their questions because they're going to have questions. My kids did when my grandma passed away. They were like, well, where is she? Like, well, she's left her body. Like, how do you describe what that is to the kids and stuff, or being able to even talk about, more recently, I told you I had to put my dog down and stuff, having to discuss, where the dog is now and what that looks like moving forward. And, just being open and upfront and talk to them, keep their memories alive. If it was a family member, say, yes, but this person loved you and their time on earth is gone. However you choose to decide, be open to what your kids have to say. Listen to because they're probably a lot smarter than you think, or they see and hear things. And keep them a part of the conversation. But talking to our children, I think, about death, because it is a part of life. How do you deal with it? How do you grieve correctly? Because there are wrong ways and right ways to grieve. We've had grown men who lose their wives to cancer. They're sad. They lose they lose themselves to a bottle. People end up eating, because they're stressed out. They're grieving in that way. People grieve through anger, through outbursts, through overeating.
Sometimes
they
have
grieve in silence.
coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
And so
one technique that I use, man, to open up that conversation is talking about the plan, man, the succession plans with the insurance, man. I went and got another policy, and I had the conversation with the family, with the kids, man. I'm getting this because I got to make sure you're good if something happens to me. That's how I did it. And explain that so they know the plan, right? Like you never know, you know what I mean? But what I don't want you to be is in a situation where you're not prepared. And we've had this conversation to where I've been working on my family constitution, laying out what I expect of my future generations on what to do with the legacy I'm building for them. Just got to be straight up with it, man. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting this because I need you to have this. If something happens to me, you better get the insurance money, pay this house off, because I don't want you to have to worry about where you're gonna stay at. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If I'm taken out of the picture, man. So that's my technique on how I found to at least open up that conversation. Well, what about you, Corey, man? What kind of tips can you share? Have that conversation or start the conversation with the kiddos, man?
I would start the conversation in a way of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like having my son, definitely when I'm doing stuff like in the kitchen or cleaning up, I'm like, son, one day you're going to be doing this for your family when I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? And letting him know that my job on this earth is to make sure that your life is better, and showing that, and that's why I do this. So everything with me, with my kids, especially when it comes to like death, it's a teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? God forbid, I always say God forbid because I want to be there. I want to see them raise their kids and give their kids sugary candy and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? But I also want them to understand that it's like that may not be possible, but just know that even if I'm not here, all the things we have, all the things we've done, Hawaii, Toronto, Canada, Niagara Falls, memories, those things, letting you know that if I'm not here, you still have memories where I was. And I still, and thank God for technology. We still got pictures, we got video, those things, YouTube. I got probably I'm probably on YouTube more than I am in photo albums. But the fact is, they can be able to click. My youngest can click on a video when she's 30 or 40 and show her kids, this is your granddaddy talking. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy talking. This is how he made his living. This is how this mansion is here. This is how this compound. This is how we built the Alvarez name from media, technology, music, entertainment. You know what I'm saying? They know me for that because they know I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And so now, you know what I'm saying? It gives them it gives them alternative of the technology. Sometimes we say we use technology for a lot of bad things, but it also has a lot of good things, and not just to try to get rich. It keeps memories alive.
Yeah, good point. And you know what? That's you kind of gave away a secret, right? That's one of the reasons why I continue to want to do this podcast, so that my future generations can know, hey man, how was great grandpa Gmo, man? It's right here. They can go here, and they could hear my crazy wacky laugh. They be like, man, I laugh like grandpa. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, have you ever been around like your older family and they be like, you look just like such and such. I'm like, huh?
My aunt told me recently when I walked in, she goes, "Oh my God, I thought you were your mom."
Hey,
I was like, "What?"
It's like your mama. Yeah. What? Well, you look just like her, but
taller, skinnier version. But yes.
Beat this, Bobby. Did you even think about that? You now have left a legacy, at least with our content. All the future generations of your family can always go back to our Technically Speaking channel, and they could go see grandma, great grandma, great grandma Bobby. You know what I mean? It's there.
Like, dang, grandma look good.
You know what I'm saying? And she got a whole bunch of guns.
They're gonna be like, let me show you who left these guns to you, and then boom, there you go.
There you go.
Because they get to learn it. Like I mean, you share stuff, Bobby, right? That let's say 5 generations from now, some of your descendants may want to learn more about you. You share so much about your life and your story. Now it's there for reference. They can always go back and be like, dang, okay. That's why the women in our family are so strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. So that's what's up, man. That's pretty cool. You know what? This conversation started out dark. Good point, though. It's a part of life, but I think we can take it and spin it on what can you do to leave something behind so that your future generations could get to know you, man. Mm-hmm. What up, Corey? Oh.
It started off kind of dark, but now it got a little colorful, baby. That's all I gotta say.
And you know what? I'll close this off and just teach them how to celebrate that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? It's a part of life, but we gotta mourn, get that out. It's healthy to get it out, but then let's celebrate that life, man. That like the light that was left behind, man. So that's a good way to wrap that up. Good topic. Because I mean, it's good just topic. News you could use, man. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to candy coat it. Just keep it real with them. However your technique is to introduce that conversation, but just like, hey, you know what though? We gonna enjoy this the best we can while we're here. Make the most of it, man, and leave something behind for the next. That's my take on that. Another good episode, y'all. Hell yeah. I like it.
Yep.
Hey, man, like we always do about this time, Bobby. Let them know what they could get if they in the Bexar County and surrounding areas.
Yeah, so if you're in the Bexar County area, Wilson, Medina County, Atascosa County, all of these counties around Bexar, anything around the San Antonio area, we offer water mitigation services through Patriot Restorations LLC. It's a disabled veteran-owned small business owned by 100% by yours truly. And so if you've got a water leak somewhere in your house, give us a call. Let us help you get that taken care of. We'll work with your homeowner's insurance and make sure that you get the best bargain for your buck.
There you go. Boom. Corey, if they are in the Los Angeles area and they do want to start a podcast so there's something there for their future generations to get to know them, how can you help them with that, sir?
Well, look, what you can do is click in the link below and grab this free ebook that I'm creating, because up until the end of May, only technically speaking, viewers can get this ebook for free. Everywhere else is going to be off the site until we come out with our new ebook, is how to start a podcast online by technically speaking. And so if you're in the LA area and you want to get you a podcast up and running, or you just want to try it out, hit me up at Corey Giovanni, slide me a DM and let me know your podcast dreams. We could probably go ahead and jump up on a video so you can send a link to your friends and we can all talk. But tap in with your boy, because it's the main man with the game plan.
Hey, hit him up though, for real. And then you can find me on Instagram at tech_Von_go, because we use tech for everything. And I'm down to use the tech. But I am looking for companies that do want to get a long-term lease in the Crosbyton area. That's right outside Lubbock. You know what I mean? I'm looking for some EV companies. If you need some space to develop and set up some EV chargers, holla at me. Or maybe even some storage for battery sites for you power companies out there. Same thing for West Columbia. So if you're looking for some land to lease long-term for a battery storage facility or for electric vehicle chargers, holla at me. Holla at your boy. Hey, man, other than that, hold up, wait a minute before you leave. If you're on YouTube, make sure to click that subscribe button. Make sure to click that like button. Drop us a comment on any one of the topics we talked about. Matter of fact, even let us know what you want to hear us talk about. What's a parenting tip that we could help you with, man? Let us know. We need to hear from you. But other than that, y'all have a good night. We love y'all. Thank y'all for spending that Monday night with us, and have a great rest of your week, y'all.